Hey, good morning. Got a question from Gnome about doing your customer discovery and validation when the product fits into a category where the need is already well known and well proven. In this case, it's a productized service, giving marketing and copywriting help to businesses. We all know every business cares about that stuff, so you kind of go, okay, I know it matters. I know they spend money on it. I know that it can make them more money if they do it well. Great. So how strict do you need to be about mom test, no masks, and how does he need to not talk about his idea, or can he jump forward and start asking, what are your big problems with the other alternatives? So what I would say is that I want you to break away from the idea of thinking this as a process and start thinking of it as a toolkit. You know, customer, like the mom test is one of several tools you have to progress your business and to answer the next set of important and company killing questions. The nice thing about a productized service in particular is it basically takes no time to build an offering. You can sell it from day one effectively. So what you can do is you can go straight into the sales conversations, or what I would call the commitment conversations, validation conversations, where you're trying to figure out, is this the right price point? Is it the right offering? Do they trust me? Have I built the credibility? Now, it's possible that you nail it, in which case, congratulations, that's great. And then you're kind of in business, you've got real customers, you can figure out which ones love it and double down hard on what makes them happy. You might also hit a negative signal. It might not work as well as you had hoped, and you don't know why. Is it because the pricing is wrong, or am I communicating the benefits wrong, or am I talking to the wrong type of customers? Is it just the wrong offering? Have I positioned it as the wrong category? If you keep trying at that point when you're getting a negative answer, the metaphor I use is like being blindfolded, spun around, and you're throwing darts at a dartboard trying to hit, and it's like, it's missed, it's missed, it's missed. But you're getting these binary signals. You know it's not working, but you don't know why it's not working. So in those cases, you might go back and do some open-ended discovery. You're sort of saying, hey, the shot I took at the dartboard didn't hit, and I'm not exactly sure why. And I think that if I get myself pointed in the correct direction through a bit of discovery and just talking about their life and what frustrates them and their goals and all that stuff, it's going to make my next shot at the board more efficient. Now, does that mean you should spend 6 months just getting oriented? No, at a certain point, you need to pitch something. You need to try to sell something. You need to set yourself up for rejection. But in some cases, you're balancing these two things. Discovery, this open-ended, pure mom test learning. I'm just talking about the customer. I'm not talking about my idea. It's giving you this foundation of understanding. It's pointing you toward the dartboard, and then you can take better shots. When you actually pitch something, hey, this is my productized service. Hey, this is my offering. That's throwing a dart. And you tend to get binary feedback. So if it's positive, great, keep doing it. If it's negative, you might take another shot if you feel like, I was really close there. I just need to tweak one little thing. But it's a mistake, and a lot of technical founders do this. I do it, I'm technical, where something doesn't work and we go, I've got an idea for the new feature, and we build it, and then that doesn't work. We go, I got an idea for the new landing page, and that doesn't work. I got an idea. And that's just blindfolded and dizzy, throwing darts randomly, hoping you get lucky. In those cases, even though it feels like slowing down, to go back to a few open-ended conversations, you can really actually save a lot of time. Now, productized services are a little bit different because you have no technical wind-up. There's nothing you need to build. You can essentially iterate your entire business model between every conversation. You can reinvent your offering as quickly as you can think about it. So that makes taking more shots at goal a little bit more attractive because there's no delay between your attempts. As long as you can find potential customers to talk to, and as long as you're not worried about burning bridges because the world has an infinite supply of the relevant customers for you, then you can essentially just keep trying stuff. Boom, boom, boom. What you're going to be bottlenecked by is essentially how quickly you can get conversations with credible customers and how quickly and how accurately you can read the signals of that sales conversation. So for example, if your price point is low enough that people say yes or no after the first conversation, that's a really attractive setup for just trying stuff. However, if you have a conversation and then it pulls you into a 3-month sales process and you don't find out if it's closed or failed until the very end of that 3 months, then that's essentially the same as having to do 3 months of programming between each iteration. And then mistakes are a lot more expensive. You can't iterate as quickly just by pitching. And so then you might want to do more discovery, more pure mom test. So you're balancing these two things. It's like, okay, do I want to get pointed more toward the dartboard, or do I want to take more blind shots? And as you get pointed, anyway, you understand what I'm saying. So these are not, it's not like you always have to do a ton of pure mom test discovery, and then you always have to go into strict validation. These are tools, not steps. You use the correct tool for the job based on the costs and benefits and the risk profile and the next major question of what you're doing. But yeah, for a productized service, I'd probably say start trying to sell it. If it works, great, you're done. Collect your money. And if it doesn't, then you talk to people to figure out why. And also something that's a common pattern is, let's say you pitch it to 10 people, 2 of them immediately start paying you and they're so passionate and they adore it, They're your super users. Maybe 4 more gradually agree to pay you, but they're not that active and they churn. And 4 or 5 just flat out reject it. Okay, what that probably means is that of the ones who accepted it, there's different customer segments there. There's the customer segment that it's amazing for and the customer segment it's mediocre for. So that would be a case where I might start with the pitch, get my first few customers, and then I would revert back to discovery. And I would try to talk to those 2 or 3 groups of people to understand why some of them love it and some of them don't, so that I can focus my marketing and sales efforts on the ones who are likely to love it, because they're going to have a much higher lifetime value and probably be lower maintenance. So those are some thoughts. Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah, it's a great business model, productized services. I really like them. I think they're an awesome, if you're not yet financially secure, if you still need to worry about paying your bills, I think productized services are such a beautiful way to get free of that. If you're interested in this field, there's a podcast called The Tropical MBA, tropicalmba.com, and they talk a lot about productized services, and they're the best I've seen. They use them as a transition. They talk about if you're trying to free yourself from a job, you do a year as a freelancer, then you do a year switching your freelancing into productized services, and then you do a year switching your productized services into a product. And that's kind of their 1,000-day plan to go from job to product entrepreneur in an extremely low risk, high reliability way. 1,000 days seems like a lot, but I think it's just such a great way to start building up those freedoms and the financial safety net and everything else you need to really separate your time from your income later on. So anyway, great question. Thank you for asking, and hopefully that's helpful.